Good morning, welcome to your card of the day for Tuesday the 11th and Wednesday the 12th of March. Now our card of the day today is evolution. Oops. Evolving. We have DNA strands in the image. The key words for this card are growth, overcoming challenges, gracefully riding the waves of life, expanding out of a problem, flourishing in the face of change, thriving in new environments, and being unperturbed. That last one's a little bit difficult at times, isn't it? Being unperturbed. I love the colour of this. It's such a beautiful blue. So this card asks you, what does personal evolution mean to you? For you, is it about growth or expansion or learning to adapt? Or maybe personal evolution is more about success or becoming a better version of you. Or maybe it's more about how you overcome your problems, how you face difficulties. Because it doesn't matter how good we are at getting through the difficulties that we face. Every single one of us face those, the tides of the ups and downs at times. None of us are here to live a life that is just always smooth. Every single one of us has ups and downs. And when we try to hide from those, they tend to get bigger and more overwhelming. We can choose to either dive into them or surf them in order to grow and transform. Or we might flow with the current of least resistance. Just allowing the waves to, just becoming one with the motion and allowing us to have that deeper sense of compassion and strength. How we meet these challenges actually makes a difference to our growth and evolution. I have the card over on the right hand side here, that's why I keep looking away from the camera. So when we look at others, we don't actually know how many fails they have had, especially these days with social media where everyone only ever shows their best side and their dream life. And, you know, so much of what we see isn't the reality of the people that are sharing. Very few of us like to share the not so good moments. And I deeply respect anyone that does share their tough times, their ugly parts of their life. Because it's not easy to when everybody else is just showing the gloss, which quite often isn't real. And it can be difficult to be real when no one else around you is. All we can do is do our own personal best. And be aware that success takes time. Sometimes it takes years of persistence. And this idea that things can come quickly and perfectly can actually block creativity, because life on this planet is about the process and success is about perseverance. That doesn't mean that we keep on pushing against the tide if it doesn't feel right. And sometimes we can keep on just doggedly going at something even when it doesn't feel right. So this is not saying it's not saying that we should do that, because obligation doesn't hold that passion. When we're doing things out of obligation, we don't have the passion and determination to press through, to actually push through some of the more difficult parts. And, you know, we've all been raised with that notion that love will find a way. And the truth is, if you have that spark of passion, it's easier to overcome difficulty. So when you're looking at your plans, your bigger picture, your big plans, your big goals, not your little goals, but your big goals, think about what inspires you to do it. What inspires you to chase the dream? Because if you love what you're doing and you have passion for it, then you're more likely to be successful. And the key is passion. Because when you love something, it's so much easier to keep on going when things are tough. And if you don't love what you're doing, it's almost impossible to keep on going when things are tough. It becomes duty and obligation rather than passion. And, you know, sometimes our challenges we don't have any control over. And when that's the case, it's more of an internal evolution. And when that happens, you know, like grief is a fantastic example. We don't have any power or control over when we lose somebody that we love, or when we get laid off, because that's a grief process too. Losing a job, a career, something that you've poured your life into, that's a huge grief. That can be as an intense a grieving process as losing the love of your life, because for some of us, our jobs are so important, what we do. For me, it was a huge adjustment when I had to retire from nursing, because I was my job, and that was a massive grieving process I had to go through. So that's still big. The question is, how do I find the silver lining in this situation? What can I be grateful for? What have I learned from this experience? What can I learn through this experience? And how can I be honest with my feelings? How can I be truly present with my feelings? Because evolution, which is another term for life mastery, is about tackling every difficulty with courage, grace, poise, presence. It's about meeting those challenges and learning how to be present with the emotionally charged situations in life, and how to find the micro joys when joy is so hard to find, and how to find the humour to learn to laugh again and to feel light-hearted again, as long as you stay here on the planet. And it is a challenge to stay in that place of the heart and to find the joys, find things to be grateful for when the emotions and the difficulties, those difficult emotions are so prevalent. So what this card's asking you to do today is to look for ways that you can flourish in the face of of your challenges, challenge that you face today. How can you flourish? Tap into your original passion. Remember why you chose this path that has brought you to this place, this space, this challenge you're facing. Even go so far as to break the challenge down into smaller challenges and find a way of being creative about how you tackle those smaller challenges, because sometimes something's just too big and we need to break it down into little bits, baby steps. Find ways to bring joy and inspiration back into your life, or be present and just ask yourself, how can I grow? How can I learn? And how can I become stronger through this process? How can I use this situation to evolve my own consciousness, my own spirit, my own heart? And if we bring our focus to the things that have made it worth it, the things that the prize at the end may be, and remembering that to be here today, you have already overcome so many challenges, and drawing on that strength, because when we concentrate on what we have already overcome and we allow ourselves to feel that pride in our hearts of how well we have overcome, we're still here. You're still here. So far, the worst day that life has ever thrown at you, you survived. Draw on that strength. Know that you do have the strength to pull you through this, because nothing's taken you down yet. And remember that you do have the qualities to shine. And keep your focus on the bigger picture. And the challenges we face, you can be pushed to deeper learnings. The greater the challenge, the deeper the growth opportunities. And it can be darned uncomfortable at times. Sorry, my foot's going to sleep. It can be so uncomfortable at times. Really uncomfortable, painful even. And yet when you look back at your most painful times, you will realize that you gained so much growth, so much strength, and they made you wiser. Your journey through that storm, through those challenges, through the storm of grief, through whatever challenges you have faced, they have made you stronger. They have given you more wisdom. And embodying that knowledge, that knowing, being fully present with that knowing, is something no one can ever teach you. It's the greatest gift of all. That feeling of worthiness, of self-worth, no one can give you that. And we get there by remembering, by honouring our journey. And being grateful for the learnings. so much love around us when we really feel into it. When you can tap into that love in your heart rather than look for it outside of yourself. When you can find, when you can acknowledge that strength that you have and give yourself credit for your journey. It gives you a sense of worthiness that no one else will ever give you. And it gives your life meaning that no one else can ever give you. So personal evolution. It's the evolution of consciousness and the growth of our soul. So whatever challenges you face today, remember the passion that got you started on this path. And today look for ways that you can flourish, regardless of the shitstorm that's coming. Have a wonderful, blessed day. May you truly know your worth. Blessed day. I'll see you tomorrow morning.